Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with our realistic series. We also have our fence all the way down the top of the embankment here this time, so hopefully the tractor won't actually attempt, well, not the tractor, the hired help driving the tractor, won't actually attempt to drive down over the side of the bank while they're doing their turning round. Of course, the other option is something that the hired help does do occasionally, which is one of the main reasons I'm doing at least twice around this. Well, I'll just stop the twice. Is that they drive right up to the fence, because for some reason they seem to have a little bit of confusion over having a front weight. But we've got no choice. We have to have a front weight on this machine. If we don't have a front weight on this one, this tractor will be sitting up and begging. It's just not going to be able to do it, and it's entirely possible the front weight it's got is not quite enough for the job anyway, but it'll do. It's enough to just sort of keep the front wheels down on the ground-ish, so we'll stick with that. I'm going to run all the way up here now, and I'm going to start it working on the field on the runs across the field here. The shorter... Actually, there's a couple of bits that we could do over here first. If I go running in here, we can start it doing these little short runs right here. Let me turn it over. We'll start it doing these little short runs right here until it's getting to the point where it's going to go all the way across the field, and then we can get it going on the next bit. So if I bring you over to there, and there's the hired help running up through there, it's only going to be 3 or 4 passes on the field. So while it's doing that, just the 3 or 4 passes on the field there, we can take a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump up here in between there, and we can see how our silage clamp is getting on, whether or not it is actually time to uncover the thing and start tipping silage. We're on 42% fermentation. So by tomorrow, that's probably going to be ready for us to actually start tipping the stuff in there. And we are going to need a front loader of some kind to do that. I'm not sure yet what we're going to use, though. So that's... figuring that one out is an item on my to-do list. I'm not quite sure what we'll use. But at least that's going to be a source of income. That's going to get us a bit of money that we should then be able to go and use to help with buying some more sheep and getting things established with that, which I think is going to be very, very cool. I'm going to bring this tractor... Actually, we can start driving this tractor home. How much more has that one got? It's going to have another couple of passes on the field before we need to worry about that one. So we'll drive this one round. Take this... Well, we want to take it down to the dealership, actually. Technically, I should follow the road rather than bouncing across the field. So let's see what the road has to take us. Has to do... oh, it's actually this way, isn't it? And then we go out round a roundabout and up through the town again. So if we drive this one into the dealership, by the time we get there and then stop, we should be ready to get that plough up on the other section of the field. And that one can get started up on there, and then we can go and get the sugar beet harvester into the first rounds on our field up this way. So let's bring you in here. Got that lovely great big trailer right there. And I'll have to call in and get the front weight for our tractor. We're definitely going to need that one. So this one here, it holds 50,000 litres of sugar beet. Our little tiny sugar beet shredder machine-y doodah that we've got only actually holds 20,000 litres. So one load out of this, and that's all we're going to need to do. There won't be any more on that one. Right, how much have you got? Actually, the next pass up across the field will be all we need to do. So I'm going to stay with this one now. And I'll also just tidy up that little bit up there. There's that bit up there, and the plough is right level on the end. Nice straight line up through there. I can drop back down here and just grab this bit. It's only actually those two bits up there. So let's drop you in the ground about there and take those. And get that little bit. Fantastic. And then I will do this just because I can, and I will start it working across the field up here. We want to just move up this way. I've actually gone a little bit too far there. Probably shouldn't have bothered starting on this. It's fine. Bring you up there. He's kind of drifting me sideways a little bit. The plough is pulling us round. This tractor is not quite strong enough for this plough. I mean, we've also got to keep in mind that this tractor is the smallest one we've got. It probably would have been better if I'd had this one for doing the grass work that we're going to be doing a little bit later. And then had the green tractor for doing this ploughing work. But we've made our decision. I've made my choice, so I'm going to stick with it. We'll bring you round there like that, and then hired help should be able to do what I need it to do. I hope it won't actually cause me to fall into the river right there. Nope, nope, it's going to be fine. Okay, right, you're going to carry on there, and I'm going to... What on earth was that? Oh. It was that one dropping back down again. That terrified me. I really did. That genuinely scared me, that did. And let me see if I can get across here without actually having a collision this time. The novelty. We'll run up, we'll go and get our front weight onto the tractor, and then... Ooh, something that we probably should have is a header trailer for the sugar beet harvest. Although there isn't really any traffic on here, and we can just do what so many farmers do in real life. We can just say that, you know, we've driven ahead and we've blocked the traffic on both ends of the road. So that is something that, like, every farmer does go and do. They block the traffic that's coming down the road in order to be able to get through quickly and efficiently. So that's what we will also do. I'm really, really hoping that this one will allow us to, one, tip into the top of the sugar beet chopper thingy-majiggy, and two, also allow us to tip straight from here into the sugar beet storage, because we haven't got very far to take it, so we can just use this trailer for it. This will be absolutely perfect if we can use this trailer for it. So I'm going to bring you over to there, and you're going to stop there for a minute, and then we're going to just check that he's still going. Yeah, he's fine. We've got a bit of tidy up to do afterwards, but that's not an issue. And we want to go and get this one right here. So I want to go Control Y. There we go. That's the sharpest steering. It's the one you also want to use when you're doing the harvest. Although I think the hired help doesn't use this version of steering. I think the hired help uses the previous version of the steering. So we bring that on there. Now, you can fold it so that it's folded up for transport to put onto the trailer. The only problem with folding it is that it does that. So I'm going to press C. I'm going to jump into cab. It's probably going... Oh, okay, that was instant. It does take a while. It really does struggle with in-cab views. It really does. And you can see the mirrors are blacked out. It's because I've reduced the number of mirrors that we actually use. So there's only 2 active mirrors on here. That's not so good. You only fold it up like that when you're putting it onto the trailer. You wouldn't fold it up like that and then drive along with it because, well, quite frankly, you can't see very well. So we'll leave it down like that, so it's in the unfolded position. And then I can get across the road straight here. So all I got to do is just have a spotter to see me across the road right there. Doesn't matter if the header's unfolded and down and on the machine, that's absolutely fine. And then we run up the hill on our private land, that's absolutely fine. And then what we've got here is one person is stood on the road there, stopping any traffic coming up, which they've done a marvellous job for. Absolutely wonderful job. And the other person has gone on down round the corner to the point where we need to get down the hill, and they've stopped the traffic there. So we've got no traffic coming up through, which means that we can just leave the header on. It's going to save us a huge amount of time to be able to move it around like this, just using the whole road up. And this is quite a normal occurrence in the UK. Now, I realise that we're in Spain on this particular job, but it's, I'm assuming, still a normal occurrence elsewhere in Europe as well. I don't know what the rules are in the US, but I'm guessing you can probably go out and just stop the traffic temporarily while you bring a large machine down the road without anybody getting all upset and whining about it. I mean, there's probably a few going to whine about it, but in this country there's not a lot they can do about it. They can whine if they want to, but it's a bit of a pointless exercise because it isn't going to actually accomplish anything. Right, this one is all unfolded. Well, unfolding. Now it's all unfolded. And we come along over here and fire this bad boy up. Let's go this way. Right, I do love the nice wide header that we've got on this one. I don't like the trees. I really, in this game, like, it's nice to have trees around the edge of your field, but I really, really don't like trees around the edge of the field when I'm playing the game, because they just get in the way. You can't see anything that's going on, especially when you're doing the hard. In the winter, it's fine, because there's no leaves. So I do quite frequently, you probably notice in many of my videos, I do quite frequently just go around and get rid of the trees. And then there's also the fact that the hired help seems to be terrified of trees anyway. So if they see a tree, they just stop right in the middle of the field, turn around and drive off in the other direction, which is a really bizarre thing to go and do. I mean, it's a tree. It's not that scary. I mean, yes, there are things like treants and stuff like that, but they're generally confined to fantasy books and stories, so you don't often find that they're going to be causing you any issues as such. So, I mean, yeah, it's... I'm not quite sure why the hired help gets so fussy about it, but it does seem to. Now, I'm going to bring you back down here. I could probably have done a better job of getting around that corner, but I regret nothing. Let's bring you up this way. Okay. We are well on our way. We've gone past the trees. This is the first rounds around the outside edge of the field. We're going to do 2 or 3 rounds around the outside edge of the field in order to get this all started, and then we'll be able to have the hired help working. Once the hired help starts working, I will change things over a little bit, and we can have the get started on doing some of the grass work as well for the sheep. It's not going to be... I reckon it'll probably be tomorrow that we end up with our silage being ready. So we will probably have finished doing this. And then we've got the silage will be ready. We'll be able to uncover the clamp and start looking at what we're going to use to feed that into the feed bin. There's a couple of different options that we've got. I quite like the idea of using a blower of some kind. But I suspect, given how all the placeables are made on this map, we're not going to be able to load the silage into a trailer and then just tip it out. I suspect that that is going to be far too simple a thing for this particular map, and that it has been done to try and tramline you into using a front loader of some sort, which is bitterly disappointing. I don't like it. I guess we could get a placeable ramp and put there, and then we can just tip in with a trailer. However, I have also noticed occasionally you'll get a map maker that thinks you should be only using a front loader to tip stuff into the biogas plant, and they make the built-in biogas plant on their map not able to accept trailers being tipped into it. So it doesn't matter if you build a ramp, you still can't use a trailer you still have to use a front loader. And I really, really don't like that. I mean, I usually, if I'm doing it and I sort of don't really have any other way of getting around that particular bottleneck, I'll just do something like get a front loader that has... Have I got... Right. I was just looking to see if it has got the... let's lift that one up a minute. Crop destruction turned on or not. Right. I'm going to put the spout out here, because I've done once round. I'm not going to be able to get a second time round the outside edge of the field before we stop. So I'm going to bring you out, and we can actually tip in from this side of the trailer. You wouldn't normally tip from the other side of the trailer, and okay. Why aren't you working? Seriously, why aren't you working? Oh, wait a minute. No. I pressed O to put it out. Pipe in, fold header. It might be that it's not working because I can't reach far enough. I can't change the other bit. Huh. 1 second. Uno momento. Let's go to you. Start this one up. And I will turn it round. It might be that we've actually got to be facing the correct direction in order for this one to work. If it's just that this doesn't work, I'm going to be bitterly disappointed because these are both base game machines. So there is no possible reason why they shouldn't be compatible with each other. And if they're not, I am going to be really, really annoyed with this. Let's bring you over there. So far, no joy. Let me just double check one thing with this auger wagon. Sugar beet. Right, I have got that. I got one leased. It takes sugar beet. It's a base game machine. There was no option here for changing it to be something else. So I'm not... I don't have any errors or anything like that with it. This one, let's lower it down. Press I for unload. R. Try turning it off, maybe. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It might be... Let me turn it back on again. Because I had the front selected. If I actually have the main sugar beet thing selected and then I press I. No. No. Okay. Little bit embarrassing. I genuinely didn't think about it, but apparently it is a thing. Let me just lift that one up. So this one's running. It's absolutely fine. I'm just going to lift that back up again into the fully folded position. I'm going to put it back out again so it's back to its default, which is there. I thought it was a bit different to that, but anyway. Then I'm going to go over to here. Apparently, the reason that this one won't load, I just looked it up. I just typed it in, why it wouldn't load into the Bergman 500. And apparently, it's because this one is folded. So what you've got to do is you've got to unfold that one, and then it works. So that's a bit embarrassing on my part. I did make a little bit of a boo-boo there. But it's okay. I have found out what the problem is, and we have cured it, so that's the important part. Is we've actually established that we are able to use it. I was going to say we haven't done anything wrong, but yeah, we have done something wrong. We forgot to unfold the thing. So I'm wondering, can I fold it back up again? Folding is not allowed while the tool is filled. Right. So I cannot fold it back up again, which does mean it's probably, well, I was going to say it's less suitable for traveling on the road, but it's actually fine for traveling on the road, as long as you don't have any low-hanging trees that are going to go and get in the way, which we don't have at the moment. Now, I'm bringing this up because the tank that we're going to tip into has a maximum of 20,000. So I want to get over there, tip the first lot in there, and get that started working on chopping sugar beet as quickly as possible. Because I can fill that one right up with sugar beet, and then we can let that cycle through, and we can put a bit more in afterwards. Bring it this way. If we go into here, so the cut master there takes 20, and that takes 20 as well. So we should, in theory, be able to get a total of 40,000 in there. So I'm going to activate the sugar beet bit on there. That's 480 euros a month to run that one, which is absolutely fine. So if we bring this one up now, if I press O, that will actually bring the sugar beet auger out. I can only move the end of the sugar beet auger. Now, this is what I was hoping, really hoping, is that this one will actually allow us to tip in there. And it does. That is excellent news. We are at least able to tip in there. I mean, yes, admittedly, I am kind of wedged up on top of the thing. I'm okay with that. And the way I moved it there, it's apparently going... Oh, no, it's because I filled it all the way up. There, right. So that one is now completely full. I will fold this one back up. I'll drive this 5,000 litres a week, because we're not going to be able to just stick all of the sugar beet straight into that one. We're going to need to put some of the sugar beet into the actual store. So we'll also drive back round over here and put some of this into the store down here, which is this front one over here, just to see if that also works. And I see no reason why it won't. So we bring you over to that point right there, and then unfold. And it does. It tips straight in. So that's the rest of the sugar beet gone into there, and that is absolutely wonderful. I can then drive back round and head back out to the field. And yeah, it'd be nice if we could just take a shortcut down over the bank, but I don't think that's a very good idea. That's just going to end up getting us stuck. Hard enough time getting in and out of here with this monstrous great big trailer anyway, but I figure it's probably quicker and easier to do this than it is to transfer this over into the next trailer. So I'll bring you up like that, and now with this way round, with that auger sticking up in the air, we've got to be a bit more careful with our sugar beet harvester that we don't actually drive into the thing. So I'll bring you up here, and we'll put you like that. So then next time round, we're able to just pause, dump it in there, and then carry right on. So I'm going to go to there. This one, we've already got 50 cut sugar beets done. We will, at some point, be doing the protein feed, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We need to focus more on getting this done. So let's head off on our next pass around the outside edge of the field. It's already 1 o'clock. Time is a-ticking. I know that I've got the 5 times speed thing, but I'm alright with that at the moment. It might be that a little bit later on we do change it down a little bit, but I'm okay with it running at this kind of speed at the moment. That's going to be absolutely fine. I don't think it's going to cause us any issues. Getting the grass cut and baled and brought in, that should be quite easy to do. There is a small shed down by the sheep that we could go and use if we wanted to. The only issue with that... Actually, no, that shouldn't be an issue at all. I was going to say, we'll end up having to use a front loader or something, but that wouldn't be a problem. If I can tip into that shed with the bale collector machine-y doodah, we could probably just put them in there, and then we've got a front loader up at the yard, and putting bales in for the sheep is not like a big job, so we could use the front loader to do it. But the other thing that I was thinking that we might be able to do is, instead of using the front loader, we can just use the little auto load trailer. We'll just run that one down to the sheep every now and then, auto load a couple bales on, and then they jump off onto go into the sheep. So it saves us having to go and physically use the front loader, which I'd rather avoid doing if I can. And at the same time, we do also get to feed the sheep as well. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. I've never been involved with sugar beet harvesting in any way. I've never grown sugar beet. I've never had anything to do with it. I did once visit a farm as part of when I was at university. We did visit a farm that grew sugar beet. They had a massive, great big storage for it as well. They did potatoes and sugar beet. And they did a lot of sugar beet. Like, they really did. They did a massive amount of it. They weren't very far from a sugar processing plant, a big sugar factory. And so the majority of their income from the farm came from growing sugar beet for the sugar factory, and the other crops that they grew, they weren't the money earners. They were basically the ones that allowed the land to rest and sort of balance the sugar beet that they were growing. So the sugar beet was always the focus. Any other crop they grew, if they could break even on it, they were happy. Right? They didn't want to be growing other crops at a loss, but they didn't care about whether or not they made any profit on those other crops, which was quite an awesome thing, I thought. I was quite impressed with that. I do actually want to bring this one further forward because it's going to be easier for us to tip into. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant, the way that kind of worked out. And it was like the guy who was showing us around the farm, the farm manager, he was... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.